Hey
You
everyone,
do you.
happy
That's
Monday. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I had a wonderful weekend. I always love the weekend. I get to catch up on things, especially sleep. So excited to hit this week with running. We're starting off the week with Quantum Expeditions, and I have kind of jumped up on with the team as an advisor to help them out and just do some marketing because I really love. Well, first off, I'm a huge believer in Bitcoin. Okay, that is what's at the root of all this. If they were strictly like just a Caspa mining project or something like that, I would not be I still like Caspa and I would still be kind of interested in that, but I think Bitcoin to me, with the bull market coming, with the ETFs coming, with the Bitcoin halving coming, to me, Bitcoin is the best safety to return ratio of almost anything out there, like any asset class that there is. To me, Bitcoin is maybe the best bang for your buck. And so I am looking for as many ways to get exposure to Bitcoin as possible. So I buy a lot of Bitcoin. I dollar cost average Bitcoin. I've been doing that for years. I like the mining projects where you get Bitcoin as a reward. Then this is a unique way where you're actually getting part ownership of a Bitcoin mining company. So it's just, all these diversification ways to get exposure to Bitcoin. So, and really love the team. Me and Justin have worked together for even back with Badger. So really love the team. So let's start with introductions. So some of you have probably seen our last video. I've done a couple videos with these guys now, but let's go through, do quick introductions. Maddie, we'll start with you because you're clockwise from me. So we'll start with you. But Maddie, quick introduction of yourself.
Hi, my name is Mati Greenspan. I'm the founder and CEO of Quantum Economics, a firm for research and advisory in the crypto space. I'm a licensed portfolio.
I
Oh,
think
and
froze
he
there.
froze. Look, at least it froze him on a kind of like complimentary, flattering picture. Usually, it freezes you in a weird spot. So hopefully his internet comes back. I always call him Maddie too, but then when he says it, he says Madi. So I need to practice that a little bit better. While we're waiting for Madi to come back, let's go over to Oz. Oz, can you do introduction of yourself?
Sure. We started this whole thing about background. I have about 20 years in tech and marketing. Working through companies like Xbox, The Economist, that sort of a thing. I've been in crypto since 14. I was in a hospital bed fighting cancer when we first kind of came up with the idea of expeditions. Um, and I've been working with Madi on some of the economic stuff, some of the crypto oracle stuff with Luke Kerner, and sat down and we decided that this was the way we're gonna go. I have some mutual friends with Doug down in Texas, and we kind of decided that Texas was the place to go, not just for power but renewables long term. Put this together over the course of the past 2 years, and that's been a labor of love. Finished an initial raise, closed transformers, locked land, locked power contracts, broke ground, and we've got about a gross of miners, about 144 deployed now. We'll be deploying another roughly, I believe, 80. And we are in the middle of a crowd race where we are trying to allow the market to kind of participate in this. And I think it's everything you said, James, right? It's your opportunity to participate in a Bitcoin company. It's your opportunity to own a piece of this, and it's your opportunity to diversify your investments, whether you're a small investor or a large investor. Crowd raise is going to be going on for about another month and a half, and we'd love to have people participate. We've got a couple of announcements today, which I'll let Madi take out, and it's I just think a really good way to diversify inside of the Bitcoin space and to go out to the community and give back a little bit to say, hey, we'd love to have community participation, because this isn't like old capitalism. This is what I call new capitalism, where the strength of your community, the strength of the nodes, the amount of participation you have makes your projects that much more successful. And we will be going to institutional rounds after this, but the idea was, maybe we can get the community involved and do this in a more meaningful way, and just take it from there.
Okay, love that. No, that was great. A lot of update there too. So appreciate that. And we do have Madi back. He says, first time I got rugged on YouTube. LOL. Yeah. We get rugged everywhere, right? You can't get away from it. But Madi, do you want to kind of finish up your introduction there? Let's see, how far in
I
did we
don't think
get?
I should, man. I think that was just a sign, like stay
Go to
humble,
next.
man. Stay stack sats and hodl, man. No, one place you won't get rugged is with Quantum Expeditions. Obviously, we built this thing with very top talent in mind and a lot of security features. So basically, everything that we do completely safe and secure. We've been planning it for 2 years entirely. So definitely we've thought of all of those angles. And even if the internet goes down, uh, we're still good. We've got a backup installed. I don't know if we announced that yet, but we've got Starlink running on the premises now, just in case the local internet goes down.
Awesome.
We're not missing a second of mining.
Awesome, love that. Yeah, and go Google Madi, okay? Because he's pretty well known. Go Google him. You'll find some cool stuff about him if you go search him up on the Googles. Let's go over to Justin. Justin, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Justin Kramer. I was the CEO and founder of Badgerland Mining Club, which was acquired by Quantum Expeditions in October of last year. Now I serve as the COO of Quantum Expeditions. And yeah, just loving every second of it. So I couldn't be more thankful to have this team.
Awesome.
We call Justin the ASIC Whisperer.
The ASIC Whisperer, love it. And Justin says, Justin, you are everywhere lately. I guess the being everywhere is a Justin thing. So awesome. Let's see. Let Doug last, but certainly not least. Doug, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump into Quantum Expeditions.
All right. Well, I've been in the oil and gas energy industry for a little over 2 decades now. And so that's, how Oz and I had the mutual friend in the oil and gas industry at the time. And that's how we got connected. But I'm here in the Dallas area, and it's good to have family that goes back many generations here in Texas. So we've got a good long lineage here. A lot of people know us in the areas.
Awesome. Yeah, and I was able to go down to Fort Worth, got to spend some time with Justin and Doug. So they're good guys, and they're good guys in person as well, not just on screen. So as we're going here too, I forgot, question for the audience. Let me know, guys, what is your prediction for the price of Bitcoin at the end of 2024? Okay, I just want to see what you guys think. So audience, get those predictions in. Whoever's closest gets nothing, except for just I'll trust your predictions more going forward. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Quantum Expeditions. And I do see we do have a new website. So who would like to tell us a little bit about what is Quantum Expeditions? What are you guys doing? And show off the website a little bit. Madi, Justin?
I can do that. Yeah, sure. I'm just trying to manage my 4 screens over here. Hold on.
I can share my screen too if you want me to.
I can do it, man.
And you dropped a massive guest down in your chat there.
Oh, yes. Action, or you want me to bring you on, Action?
Yeah, bring in Action.
There we go. The more the merrier. Look at this. This is a full house today. Action, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. This is pretty funny. I'm actually running on batteries right now to be here. I just carried a huge APC backup battery to my office so I can get this up and running.
That's funny.
Have you mined Bitcoin on that battery before?
Not Bitcoin. I have not. But that's actually a really good idea, charging it overnight when the rates are cheap and then offloading it during the day.
There you go,
it's
man.
Still expensive here.
Also, I can tell you're the YouTuber of the group because your mic, non-YouTubers, mics leave something to be desired, but then Action comes on with the YouTuber mic. So good to see you, Action. All right, Madi, go ahead and tell us a little bit about Quantum Expeditions, what it is, what's been going on.
Yeah, so you can see that the new website is up and running. Literally hats off to Crypto Witch and I mean, she's done just an exquisite job. You can see on this site. This is actually, I would say, by far the most beautiful website that I have ever been associated with, and that's that's saying a lot. Just she did an amazing job, and um, from what she tells me, this is the first time she's actually, I don't believe her, but she says this is the first time she's actually built a website.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we can see some of the high level stats here. Got 142 miners running, 14 petahash, 56 investors total. We've raised $637,000 over those well, there's 2 seed rounds, one for Quantum Expeditions and one for Badgerland, which merged. And so far on the WeFunder page, we've raised 37,000. So yeah, we're rocking and we're hashing, and we are now very proud to be a profitable entity and making money as we go. And the more people invest, the more we're going to more profits we're going to make, the more the company's going to grow. And then obviously everybody gets to, as you mentioned, you're actually getting shares in the company. So it's not just for one miner or one site or a piece of a hash rate. Actually, you're going to be able to continue growing with us. Later investors into the company are going to get not as good a valuation as you're getting today. Yeah, so you basically get to grow with us, and that's how we've structured this deal. This is a deal that usually only VCs have access to, and it is open only until February 29th. Yes, there is a February 29th this year. We checked, and that is the final date for this WeFunder. We also wanted to show off something else that we've been working on, if that's okay.
Yes.
So I will now share my screen because you don't actually have this one, but I can do it like this.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I forgot to mention to audience, if you guys have questions as we're going, please ask. Okay, again, we have the whole team here. Okay, so inevitably what happens every time is after the AMA, I get flooded with questions from people, and I say, well, why didn't you just add the team was just on? I don't know. They're the ones in the know. That's why I do an AMA. If I had all the answers, I wouldn't bring guys on. I would just talk, but I don't know anything. Okay, so ask your questions now. But let's get Madi. So we got his screen here.
Yeah, and by the way, if you guys have questions after the fact, you can tag us all on Twitter. We're pretty accessible. But the best way to reach us is by joining our Discord, and all those links will be provided after this.
Yep, absolutely. I'll get them in the description right now. Okay, cool. So tell us what we're looking at, Maddie.
One more over. That's just a GIF. There you go.
Uh-oh.
So
He
what
said
we
GIF,
have
guys.
here is a hand-drawn badger, basically. So it's been a little side dream of mine forever to have a badger NFT collection. So when I heard that we were doing a ordinal collection, it was definitely something that I was excited to pitch this idea. I was all ready to sell Madi on it. I will show you my little presentation, Madi, on why we should do badger NFT one day. But yeah, so I was all ready to go. We decided to run with it. We partnered with Strategic Art and Design to complete the collection, and they are on track to be done here at the end of the month when we'll be dropping everything. But just have a sneak peek here of one of the items that we're working on here.
Okay, so Justin, you didn't hand draw this.
Can I swear on here? Hell no. No.
Not with James. James is religious. We gotta respect.
That's right. That's right. This is a rated P. My kids actually hop on quite a bit. Sometimes I have to tell my kids, they hop in the chat, and I have to tell them, hey, get back to, they homeschool. So I say, hey, get back to school. What are you doing? So awesome. Actually, one of the big questions I got after our last AMA is, what is an ordinal? Okay, that's something not everybody knows NFT, but ordinal is newer for some people. Can you explain what an ordinal is?
So ordinals are like NFTs, but they are inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain. And unlike NFTs, a lot of NFTs actually, the way they work is you're not actually holding the artwork itself, but only it points to a file or a URL that is hosted on a site like IPFS or something like that. So if the IPFS file goes missing, you don't actually have the NFT anymore. You just have a blank link that shows nothing. The Bitcoin ordinals actually are inscribed onto the Bitcoin blockchain, so the files actually stay forever, which is then enforced by tens of thousands of nodes across the world, and made permanent by miners like us. So yeah, so ordinals are NFTs on Bitcoin, but they're even more awesome, and they will stay forever.
They're truly immutable.
Yep. Yeah. So it's really, really cool. If you're a tech guy, especially, it's really, really cool. Because like Maddie was explaining, Madi, I gotta work on my enunciation there.
It's all good,
But
dude.
yeah, Ethereum NFTs, for example, like Madi said, are just a pointer to an image somewhere. Okay. And if you change the image, the NFT changes. It's really nothing. It's just a link. But Bitcoin, the image is actually on the blockchain. So it's actually truly how I would envision NFTs should work. So it's very, very cool. So what is this ordinal going to do? How do you get one of these ordinals? If somebody sees it like, I want a badger like this, what does somebody have to do to get one of these?
Absolutely. So if you look on the WeFunder page, we do have some investor perks. And those perks include swag, which we're just reworking at the moment. And yeah, so you scroll down a little bit. Oh, you're on this page too, by the way. I don't know if you ever noticed that. If you scroll up. Hold on, I don't know if you noticed this. There you go.
Oh, look at this! I did. Oh my goodness, this is amazing.
You are a notable featured investor on the page as well. So yeah, if you scroll down, you'll get the stretch goals. The stretch goals are basically community driven, right? Community meaning once we hit a cumulative amount, so that right now is 37,750. Once we reach 500,000, we're going to be designing a board game, which we've already put in a lot of the groundwork on. The board game will maybe Justin can go into a little bit more if you guys like. And then if we reach cumulatively $1 million, then we're having a massive party in the desert, a rave, some might call it, with live music, beverages, special treats, and all that jazz. So those are community goals, stretch goals.
If I could add to that too, so the goal of this ordinal set, so some of the ordinal sets that are out there are just collectible, right? And you're collecting them like NFTs. They appreciate in value based upon popularity, scarcity, and rarity, right? So we've got those factors into this ordinal set, but what's going to be releasing over the next couple of weeks, including I think a couple of giveaways, a couple other things, is this roadmap, right? And the roadmap is leading to the board game. It's leading to a potential game later on, but it's leading towards increased utility of these ordinals over the course of the next 24 months. And so the idea is as we put together and move forward in the crowd raise, and then we move into the next phases of operation, which are going to be, obviously institutional rounds and things like that, and expanding the mining operations out. We thought it'd be really fun to have something that we could give back to the community. And it started out with the Badger Ordinals, which, are obviously themed off of kind of a dream idea that Justin had, but they are going to actually be able to play and interact inside of initially a 2D board game, but longer term moving into kind of like a 3D game space. And we're having some discussions right now to figure out what's the best play for that, because there was a lot of metaverse hype, and that's great, but we want something that the community can actually tap into, utilize, play, and be engaged with. And it's also kind of just a corollary benefit to what we're doing inside of the fundraise and then building a company, which we thought would just be really cool and, you know, a great way to just participate with us longer term.
Okay.
Yeah, disclaimer that okay, if you can go back to the page here, future utility is certainly not promised at this moment. As Oz mentioned, we are definitely playing around with it and thinking in terms about those things. So you're just on it right now. So if you see $2,500 to get everything above, right? Everything that's mentioned above. That's, by the way, the new swag, and we're just getting designs for the hats and the t-shirt and the hoodies as well, from our artists. And then for the $2,500 investment, so what you're getting is the investment, of course, but you also get anything with $2,500 or above. You're going to be receiving one of these Bitcoin Badgers ordinals. So you'll have to just supply us with your Bitcoin wallet. I recommend Unisat, but there are several wallets that are compatible with ordinals. You'll have to have an ordinal compatible wallet, and you just send us the address, and then we'll put you on the whitelist for receiving one of these absolutely for free once you're on the whitelist. So it's not it's basically just our way of saying thank you, and something that we really wanted to do at Justin for a very long time, putting out one of these ordinal sets. I mean, it is definitely a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun in the creation process so far.
So they send us the address and we'll do the rest. It was just a missed opportunity for a good rhyme right there.
YouTuber.
You got where's your soundboard, dude?
Yeah. Wait, hey.
We also have the artist Valerie here.
Hey, Valerie.
So good to see you, Valerie, and nice job on the ordinals. They look great. Okay, we do have some questions. Let me bring some of these up here. Okay, yeah, this is a big one. Anyone know? Let's see, I got to move it so the action's face doesn't disappear when we do comments. Anyone know how and when investors are rewarded? So that's the big question. Again, what people are used to with the crypto mining projects is you invest and then they pay you out some of the Bitcoin that's being mined. You guys are doing it differently. Can someone explain how people should expect to get paid out if they invest over here on the side?
Monty, do you want to take that one?
Yeah. So basically what you're getting is called a SAFE, which stands for Simple Agreement for Future Equity. This is an invention by the VC firm Y Combinator to have a way of investing in companies whose valuation is not yet known. So if an early stage company hasn't had a proper valuation, because having a proper valuation can cost tens of thousands of dollars, if not more. Basically, and also, I mean, in the early stages, you don't really know what the company is worth. So with a SAFE, what happens is, as soon as the next valuation round happens, then your certificate will convert into preferred shares into the company. So let's say you get in right now. You can see the future equity on the page. It says $25 million is the valuation. So if you buy in right now, let's say with $10,000, and then our next valued round, let's say we do a Series A in a year from now, and that's valued at $50 million, just for example's sake, right? So you've made double your money, right? So your $10,000 will turn into $20,000. If we do reach the $1 billion valuation that we see ourselves reaching within the next few years, that would represent a 40 times return on your investment. And of course, $1 billion, it may seem like a lot, but just to remind you, Marathon Digital right now is a $5 billion company. Riot Blockchain is a $3 billion company, and Spark Capital is a $2 billion company. So plenty of room here to grow, especially given the team that we have, the deployment strategy, the access to abundance of power, and zero debt on our books. It gives us basically all of those elements that are needed in order to succeed and even possibly surpass some of those valuations. Don't forget, this is coming off the bear market that you're seeing those valuations. So in the bull market, I foresee, once Bitcoin is $1 million, some of these companies are going to be worth a lot more than that.
Yeah, and there's potential just when the bull market hits. If Bitcoin doubles in price, the company could be worth double immediately. We've seen that with the miners, right? During the bull market, the miners they're just the value of the miners themselves doubles or triples in a lot of cases, along with the price of Bitcoin. So definitely could see that. Can you tell us a little bit about power? Because again, when people talk about Bitcoin mining, power is one of the key metrics is power costs. And so how are you guys doing power? How are you competing with some of the other Bitcoin mining companies? And what power costs are you guys looking at?
So maybe I'll take a stab at that, and then I'll toss it over to Doug. In Europe, most of the companies have to disclose everything, and there's a little bit more of regulation around poaching and those types of the thing. Here, what we kind of have a little bit of risk with is if we start disclosing just detailed power prices and locations, people can kind of reverse and figure out where we are. So what I'm going to say is this: we've got a couple different installation locations where we're looking at pretty competitive prices, and I'll just kind of give you an algorithm to think about. There's a lot of folks out there that are screaming 4-cent power, 4-cent power, 4-cent power, right? And they find the 4-cent power, and they'll have like a 12-month contract, but that's not really the whole argument there. One of the biggest issues that you run into is line costs, okay? And that is the power transmission cost from wherever it starts to wherever it ends up. And that's typically transmitted at like 144,000 volts, and then it's stepped down through transformers. That can be anywhere between 2.5 to 4 cents, right? And it's an average of 3 cents. And in Texas, it's 3 cents. What I can tell you is that we're not paying those line transmission costs with the agreements that we have in place. What I also can tell you is that we have a very competitive power price. And, most of these miners that are out there, they aren't really disclosing all that stuff. They could say 4 cents, but like when you do the full tally, you're at maybe 8-9 cents, right? For that kind of a thing. And then if you look at what's being pushed out commercially, right, when people are saying, hey, we'll host miners and that kind of a thing, I mean, you're looking at the 10 to 15 cent range. Just internationally, right? So one is that we have very competitive rates. Two, they're locked in for several years. And three, we've got the opportunity to expand into several megawatts where we are. And that's, I think the extent that we're comfortable sort of sharing it. But also understand that like we are very competitive with other players that are out there, including much larger players. And our footprint focus is to build this, starting out with a couple of containers, like we're filling one right now, but then kind of going into much larger operations over the next couple of years. Because as Maddie likes to say it, we were trying to build this to $1 billion company, right? And that takes obviously hops and skips and steps to get there. So, initially we're trying to take it from our current valuation, which is about $25 million, take it to the next step, right, which takes us to $100 million company. And then there'll be probably a step or two on the way to $1 billion. But that's, a larger amount of deployments. That's leveraging the experience and expertise that Doug and Trent and a number of folks bring to the table, where we can exploit natural gas, we can exploit green tech. We've got a lot of green power in there, and that we can put together a good power mix that doesn't just serve our long-term efforts, but really kind of returns to you guys, the investor that we're looking to get involved now, and then just kind of benefits everyone involved in the company long-term.
Okay.
And Oz, you were talking about Doug here. In addition to the price, something that's really important is the availability of power. Because what's the point of getting a 1 penny if you can only plug in one miner, right? So, Doug, what does that part of it look like?
Right. So, Texas is unique because we have our own grid called ERCOT, ERCOT. And you can look that up. But The good thing is we have a lot of power, and Texas, being the energy capital probably of the world now, the largest producing fields in West Texas. One of the things that was really unique uh, when I joined this team and we're out there trying to find the best place to go, because originally it was to go find gas, right? Flared gas. And when we started talking to these billion-dollar companies, they just wanted to give us a 1-year contract. I'm like, who wants to move every 12 months? And you're down for a month moving. So that doesn't make sense. So we started, talking to my family and friends, and I've got a cousin that's been in construction for 50 years there in West Texas, and asked, through some advisors, they said, the best thing to do is get plugged into a substation. So, hey, you got a substation? And we ended up, her friend worked at a power company, and he put us in touch with a guy that was, heading up the Bitcoin mining section of their power company. And when they found out that our family, roots go to West Texas really deep, and just a mile west of their office was a road named after my granddaddy. And so it didn't take long for them to call me back and say, hey, we've decided we want to do business with someone local, and so that was, kind of what or who more than what which, we all know that works pretty nice sometimes. And so that's really how we fell into one of the best industry power purchase agreements that you can get. But the other side of the coin, or the other advantage that we have, is the depth of knowledge of oil and gas companies. And so we're able to help these oil and gas companies, especially the smaller ones. And this is what we found out: some of the smaller companies that have like 30, 50, 100 oil and gas wells out there, and they can't get connected to these same pipelines that these billion-dollar companies are attached to. And so they're having trouble, and they're, got to get permits, or they shut wells in because they can't flare their gas or vent their gas. And so we can go to these companies, and this is what we're doing right now, and make a solution for them that they're able to sell us gas for super cheap. And we can turn that gas into energy, and then that energy can mine. And as you know, with Starlink and other, abilities out there, that we can connect in the middle of nowhere to the World Wide Web. And that's called off grid, the plugging in directly to the substations on grid. And so we're going to be a hybrid type of company, be able to do on grid, off grid, and also in the green energy side. Texas has the largest amount of wind turbines installed than any state in the country. And so there's some big wind farms out there. And when the temperature is nice outside and there's a lot of wind, but there's not a lot of usage of electricity, that's where we can do things. And we talk about Justin being the ASIC whisperer. He can go and get those things overclocked and, use more power when it's available and when it's super cheap. So we've got a lot of things that we're able to do, and we can move a lot quicker than a billion-dollar company right now because we are small. But we've got a huge advantage. And I'll do one more accolade to Justin here, is that what you'll find out in the time frame, I don't know if they were going to talk about this, but when we did our first installation, from the time that we got the miners located there and making and mining, they did it in record time. So, Justin, the team that we have, you can't understate what we have. You talked about Maddie.
You're forgetting someone too, Doug. As far as time to deployment, by the way, from the time that we bought these miners, which first of all was the exact bottom of the market as far as the mining price. The machines have been depreciating in value for a year and a half. and we managed to catch the exact bottom of the market for our purchase. Time to deployment was record. We have advisors who were just like stunned. They did not believe that we could ever do something that quickly and get them all plugged in as fast as we did, because there's always delays. People who know about project management know this. I mean, we had delays, but we breezed right through them. We saw them coming, and we were able to get around them. And yes, obviously, Justin, like, huge hats off to you. But I also want to say special thank you to Trent and Trent's family, who busted their asses getting everything organized, getting the site prepared, and everything. We definitely could not have done it without them. Their blood, sweat, and tears going into that as well.
Hey, if you're going to talk about family, also Justin's mom gets, hats off there as well for all the networking. She made sure everything got cleaned up real nice.
Yeah. So, and I do just want to point out, like, we're having a little love fest here, but it is true. Like, all of us complement each other really, really well. Like, Badgerland could have stayed on its own. I could have plugged along. I could have made the calls to the people that Doug's family knows, and they could have ignored me and gotten back to Doug. But I mean, having Doug having access to what Doug has access to, having Oz and Marty and Trent and what they have access to, is why I merged. Like that's really what it was all about. So
yeah, I was going to mention that. I think that's what I noticed that makes this team so powerful, is that there's so many different people that have different areas of expertise that all came together. They say team is an acronym. Together, everyone achieves more. And I really see that here with the Quantum Expeditions team.
And
so
part
I
of
love
that
that
was getting you on board to do an AMA, because it wouldn't have happened if we all weren't like, hey, Pelton, when we talking, Pelton.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Action hooked me up, and I've been a big fan. We did have a couple questions. So talking about so you get equity in the company. Quarter Mile is wanting to know, how do you get profits then? So what do you do? Do you have to sell your stake, or how does that work?
No. Thank you for asking, and thank you for clarifying that. That's on me. I should have explained it better. Holding shares in the company is more than just hoping to sell them out later on for a profit, right? Yes, there is that, and the value goes up, but it's not just like a cryptocurrency that can go up and down in value, and then you have to sell it to extract the value. In fact, equity in a company means that you get to share in the company's profits as the company is running, and this is called dividends. And a lot of big companies pay them. Not every company pays dividends. We certainly plan to share our profits with our investors. And the reason for that is that everybody that you see here in front of you is also incentivized by equity in the company. Meaning, when we get profits, we want to take some of it, and we want to take some of it for ourselves. We're paying out ourselves, and we're paying out all of the investors according to your stake in the company as well. So if you hold 0.25% of the equity in the company, then you will be earning 0.25% of all of the dividends and all of the profits that we extract from the company as well.
Okay. Yep. So that makes sense. So you're going to have equity. So you're going to receive dividends, which you can't say exactly what those dividends will be. But
the SEC has very strict rules about this. We are not allowed to promise dividends. But I can tell you that we really, that is in our plans, that is in our roadmap, and that is how we're going to be extracting value as well, as people who are building this thing.
Okay, very good. And is there a minimum investment amount? And the answer is yes. It's $100. If you go to the WeFunder here, and I'll leave this link in the comments, if you'd like to invest, minimum of $100. I don't believe there's a maximum, but again, based on how much you put in, there's different bonuses that you receive. So just keep that in mind. Like, don't invest $9,999, or you won't get the hoodie. So make sure that you keep an eye on those. But minimum of $100. So very easy to get in. Another thing I really like about this, if you're watching, a lot of projects I have on my channel, if you aren't very familiar with crypto, you're kind of out of luck. Like, it's very difficult. I had Monstros degens on the other day, and you have to go get some BNB to invest in that. And if you're watching my channel and you're like, okay, I don't know what BNB even is, this is much easier to get into. So you can invest, just with credit card, with bank account. So I think this is another place I would point people who want exposure to Bitcoin, who don't know a lot about crypto. This is an easy way for you to get some exposure to Bitcoin without knowing any crypto. So, and a good chance to learn a little bit about crypto. Like, hopefully you learned what an ordinal is today. So, and then what machines are you looking to invest in? This is from Aussie J, mining and crypto.
So as far as that goes, the nice thing about our power rate is it doesn't lock us into needing the most efficient miner. We're absolutely looking at the S21 to invest in those next. But the nice thing about our rate is we're not locked into those to be profitable and be successful.
Okay, gotcha. Yep, and then
I could say something on that real quick.
Yes, please do, Doug.
So before we actually bought our first round of miners, you would be amazed at the data and analytics that Justin and the guys were going through to determine which machine would be best. Because with us going in front of buying before having, you've got to weigh your options. What's going to happen, and so we don't just willy-nilly, pull the trigger. we do some real analytics, find out what would be the best route to go, what would be the best miner at this situation. And it really worked out because they're out there, making money for the company right now.
Okay, gotcha. And the miners you have right now running they're the S19K Pros. Is that correct?
Yep.
That's it. But that doesn't mean those are going to be the next ones, right? Because if you take a look at what Doug is talking about, it's a huge spreadsheet with hash rates, power consumption, and what the profitability is based on the price of Bitcoin. So we have variables for that. We have variables for the difficulty of the network, which just dropped. Thanks everybody for helping us out and letting us mine a little bit extra there, as well as all the crazy stuff that's going on with Ordinal. So it's a lot that goes into this. Like Doug was saying, it's not just like, yeah, we're going to buy the new thing because that's going to be best. That's not how it always works. So we do a lot of work. I mean, I really appreciate all the work that Justin put into this because he did nerd out for quite a bit putting this Excel spreadsheet together to make sure that we're mining with the most profitable machines out there.
He's the ASIC whisperer.
Yep, and that's, I love that. I do some mining on my own, but I've found it is too stressful. Like, you have to keep track of too many things. If it's loud, it's hot, the miners break, you don't get the right miner at the right time. So for me, when I first got into crypto, I was like, I want to mine myself. This will be so cool. And I'm happy to have a couple miners running, but I'm so happy to outsource this to people like Justin and the Quantum Expedition team, where it's like, hey, you guys keep track of that. You keep track of power costs and what miners are doing well and which ones are not. And if they break, you fix them. I'm so happy to outsource that now.
And James, you're right. It is really cool. Like, I love mining. That's why we're here, right? It's a lot of work as well, right? When you get into it and you really want to make it a profitable long-term investment, like, it's not just plug it in and forget about it. Yeah, maybe that's how it works on day one, but hey, did your network trip? Did you got some IP conflicts going on? Do you have your power? Did it go down without you noticing? Like, all these little things just add up, and you gotta pay attention to it. You gotta be there for it. And if you're not, well, that's money you're losing every single day. So having people who do, pay attention. If there's a miner that goes down right now, Justin will probably get off the stream and go figure out what's going on. He's going to get a notification right away, and you won't see him for a bit.
Actually, what's going to happen is I'm going to ping Justin, go, Justin, what the F? And then he's going to go, I know, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Right. I'd much rather have Justin do that than have to worry about it myself.
Yeah. I tell you, there's nothing worse for me at mining at my house than when I go to check my miner and it's like, oh, it's been offline for the last 6 hours or something. It's like, oh my goodness.
6 hours, that's nothing comparison to some of the ones I've encountered. It's like, oh, this hasn't been running all month. It was on, but it wasn't mining.
Yep, absolutely. I would recommend people, if you want to get a little tiny miner, sometime I'll show you. I have this little tiny miner back behind me, and I've got this little Raspberry Pi thing that's mining and things like that. Those are kind of fun. But if you want to do serious mining, I recommend you outsource it to the ASIC Whisperer, or a company like Quantum Expedition. They're going to get better power rates too. There's no way you're going to be able to compete with their power rates. So I would recommend that. I did have a question about longevity. So what's your guys's long-term goal? Like, are you thinking about, I think when people think about crypto, sometimes we have very, very short-term mindset because we've seen, I mean, crypto things just fall apart so quickly in DeFi and, the different, but tell us a little bit about longevity. How long are you guys planning on doing this?
Forever.
Forever.
Consider that,
Rest of my life.
there's a threshold ceiling on the mining of Bitcoin, which expires in, it's in a while. But when you have these miners running, consider the fact that there are a number of tokens out there that are forked off of Bitcoin. So even once we get to the end of this cycle, right, there's the opportunity to start leveraging these miners into those coins and converting that for Bitcoin. Now, that's years in the horizon, right? But the long term of this is that, one, we're going to be successful and continue to be profitable mining Bitcoin. But two, we've got a couple other options, when we hit that ceiling at the end of time. And it will continue to operate us. It'll continue to make us profitable, and it'll continue to pay out dividends, especially to folks that get involved, very early, because valuation is about 25 million now. A couple more rounds, as we said before, it's going to be quite a bit higher. And as Maddie pointed out, you're looking at yields that are pretty significant over the course of time.
2140 is when we should be stopping the whole mining thing. But that was before Ordinals and, Taproot came out. So now, like, we're getting better rewards from transaction fees than actual mining rewards like we're supposed to. So we were going to stop in 2140, but we might just keep going forever, like Madi said.
Okay. Awesome. We'll all be from our nursing homes in, 50, 60 years. We'll have some miners there in maybe in our room. That'd be awesome.
Wait, are we sharing nursing homes here? Are we all going to go to the same place? Is that what you're saying, James?
Let's do it. Hey, we're all still around in 50 years. Let's all go to the same nursing home. Lincoln, Nebraska. Okay. I'll invite you. I'll send you guys an invite.
Short answer to this one. Yes.
Okay. So they will be looking at hosting miners in the future. Do you have a timeline on that?
I'm not going to put one
Justin.
on it. I'm not going to put one on it. I want to be able to do this right. We don't want even the remote chance to be another Compass or have that kind of disaster.
Yeah.
If anybody knows me, customer service is one of the most important things that I strive to give to any investor. And if and when we do host any hosting client, so to be able to do that requires the right infrastructure and the right people on site to be able to deliver that service. So until that's in place, we're not going to offer hosting.
Okay.
However, I will throw this out there. You guys are interested we'd be interested in fact finding a little bit what you're interested in looking at, because as I think Justin said, it's not going to be deployed without a strong customer service thesis and a maintenance thesis, but it is something that we're definitely looking at.
Okay. Yeah, and I was gonna mention, if you're interested in hosting, get in touch. Hop in the Discord, which I posted a link, but I'll post it again. Hop in the Discord and just let them know, because
that being said, we can definitely help you and connect you with the right players. That's part of the value that our team brings.
Wait, Justin, are you saying that we take care of our people? Yeah, so that's the coolest thing, right? Like, you not only have access to invest in a company that is going places, but the people that are in it, we kind of know everybody in the market. We know all the players that are around, what's worth it, what's not worth it. And although we would love to say investing in quantum is the only thing you should do, like, we actually care about people, and we tell people diversify, make sure that you're doing your due diligence, and we tell them how to mine the right way. And if you do have a miner, you want to send it somewhere, of course we're going to be looking out for our investors, the people that have believed in us. So jump on the Discord. We'd love to have a conversation and be able to help you out if you are interested in doing something like that.
Yep, absolutely. And if there's a huge demand, I bet it'll move its way up the priority list probably. So you just hop in Discord, get to know the community, a ton of experts in all things mining. So I would recommend that. I would ask parents too. I smell something burning. Is that should I be concerned or should I just keep going like nothing's happening? Maybe they're messing with candles. Maybe we'll wrap up here in the next couple minutes.
You better take care of that, man. I got kids. Yeah.
I'll keep you guys updated on that. I don't see any flames, so I think that's probably okay. It's probably my miner, honestly.
Yeah, do you hear any
basement.
miners running? Are they playing with miners?
That's probably what's going on. Is the miner? Are dividends paid in Bitcoin?
Yes and no. For the seed investors, it will be. And for anybody on the crowdfund with an investment of $50,000 or more, will have the option to be paid in Bitcoin. We might be able to go for lower than that, but I'm not guaranteeing it for everyone at this time.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Nope. Good answer. All right.
I need to see what it looks like in practice, honestly, before we can say, hey, everybody gets Bitcoin, and then start going, oh, you get $3 in dividends, and here you go. That's a $15 transaction fee. We'll be like,
exactly
about that.
Yep.
But I wanted to say just before we wrap up, I wanted to give something special for everybody who's watching us, and thank you very much for watching. To hear, and if for anybody who does make an investment on the WeFunder page of $250 or more within the next 3 hours, we'll get you a whitelist spot for the Badgers. So for these Badger ordinals that we were showing before, I'll put one up here.
That's the one that's usually 2,500. Is that right?
It's 2,500. If you're making an investment of 2,500 at any time, you're going to get one. You're going to get on the whitelist to get one. And these are hand drawn by Valerie, who was in the chat earlier. Unfortunately, wasn't able to join us on stage, but we'll definitely get some FaceTime with her as we get going with this thing, because Valerie is a very well-known ordinal artist, and we've been working quite hard on this. So again, anybody who's making an investment of $250 or more within the next 3 hours of this live stream, just go ahead and join the Discord and let us know that it was you, or ping us on Twitter on QNTM Expeditions, and we'll make sure that you get on the whitelist. But make sure you let us know, otherwise we won't have any way of knowing. We'll check the timestamp and everything.
Awesome, love that. And Denver Bill, he says, what was the seed round valuation? This may be our last question here.
Yeah, the seed round valuation was $20 million. So basically anybody who's investing today is getting just about the seed round. So you're getting a valuation cap of $25 million, but also you get a 20% discount. So it's net, you're getting about the same as anybody who invested 2 years ago in this company and took a much larger risk than you're taking today.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal, because the miners are there, they're running now. So like you said, much less risk for the same valuation. That's a good deal. So, all right, we will wrap up here. I always like a marketing guy, so I always like calls to action. Purpose of videos is for some kind of action. Okay, So hey, action crypto. You probably agree. So calls to action. Hit the like button. Number one thing. Okay, that's easy, free. If you're watching this, please hit the like button. Number two, go check out the website. Okay, again, even if you're not totally sure if you want to invest or anything like that, go check out the website, read about the company, read about the team, see what they're up to. Number three, hop into the Discord and get to know the community there. Again, if you like mining, you will like this community. You'll like talking with them, and again, they're very generous. They're very willing to help people and talk with people about things, even if you don't end up being an investor. It's just a friendly community that is very helpful. So go hop in the Discord. And finally, if you would like to get involved financially, I'll leave this link one more time. but wefunder.com/quantum expeditions. It's a minimum of $100. In my last video, I showed you me putting in $2,500, so you can put in money just from your bank account or from, I think, even a credit card. So you can, a lot of different ways to get your money in. Doesn't have to be crypto, so that's easier for some people, especially if you're not used to crypto. And stay tuned. We're going to have this team on more. You'll see more videos from me whenever I do a video about Bitcoin, which I'm planning on doing a lot of videos about Bitcoin. Again, I get asked every day from normal people. Crypto people are not normal, okay? So I get asked every day from normal people, hey, crypto looks like it's about to take off. I keep hearing about these ETFs. What should I do to get exposure to crypto? And I tell them you need to get some exposure to Bitcoin and potentially get some exposures to Bitcoin mining. So I'm going to be doing more videos about that. Quantum's going to always be up there as one of the things I talk about. So we will wrap up there. Audience, appreciate you guys. Again, and Aussie J Mining says, we are a unique breed. Very true. Very true. I forget sometimes. I'm so much in crypto. Sometimes I forget when I talk to normal people how weird we are in crypto. But you talk about a Badger ordinal to an average person, and they're like, oh, okay, nice. That's what you do for a living. Great. But yeah, audience, I appreciate you guys very much. Again, the reason I'm able to connect with every single person, Justin, Doug, Madi, Oz, and Action, is because you guys watch my videos. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate you very much. And then Quantum Expeditions team, thank you guys for building something. Thank you for bringing it. Thank you for letting me be part of the team. And we will for sure be seeing you guys soon.
Awesome.
Take care.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great
rest
of your Monday.
Thank
and
you.
we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.